Hey, yo,
Tonight's Eve.
you wanna go Evo? Of course.
Evo, to this, like, even now, like, a part of me think this isn't real.
To have a chance to experience the tournament life outside of Jamaica is, it has been a dream of mine.
Just going to go over there and do my best, and I'm very excited to meet all the professional players that I've watched for years on stream.
Alright, so we're at the airport and look who book up on.
Jason, Nick.
Yo, don't mind the shades still, don't mind the shades. But their flight's a bit earlier, so they're gonna head out now. So I gotta just wish them good luck. They're gonna go to Fort Lauderdale now.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
About 5 hour layover, but we're gonna eat some food and chill out. And then we'll link up back in Vegas. So
Yeah, when this man say eat some food, you know that 4 hours gone out of the 5, right? Alright, soon in Vegas. Big up.
Flight crew, please prepare for landing.
We were on a flight that was leaving from Kingston, and it would be landing in Miami, and then we'd catch a connecting flight from Miami about 3 hours after that, from Miami to Vegas. Flight was delayed.
When we got over to Miami, immigration was ram-packed. It took us probably a little over an hour to come out of immigration, and because of that, half the team missed the connecting flight to Vegas.
And the next available flight that they had was the following day at 7.
yeah, so first morning at Evo is about 7:30 now. I'm gonna get some breakfast, but unfortunately a few of our team members got left in Miami. No fault of theirs, it was just delays with the airline. Hopefully they can make it in time to start their pools. We'll see how that works. But Cyan, Flame, and Jason inside getting ready, so at least we'll have Mortal Kombat and Smash covered right now.
So we finally reached right outside the venue right now. Just pick up our badges. I'm excited. My pool doesn't start till 6, but it's gonna be exciting seeing everything that's in there right now.
Jamaican come take over. Jamaica day and night place. Finally reach.
When we finally got into the venue, the first thing that you would have noticed obviously was the massive line that was there. Huge line, thousands of people lining up to get their passes.
I've never seen so many people at a event before, especially a gaming event.
There's probably over 1,000 people waiting in line, standing up right now. And if we had 10 a.m. pools right now, we wouldn't even get into like 12 probably.
Evo should have started at 10. After renting the hotel and after waking up early in the morning, getting through security and waiting on the flight, the 7 o'clock flight was delayed again.
It's unfortunate because the other two guys that were supposed to come here and play, they had 10 a.m. pools, and me and Jason
an
have
average of one every 8 hours.
6 p.m. and 2 p.m. pools respectively.
We weren't really sure who was going to catch their games basically, because if you don't reach there in time, you're going to get disqualified. Coming from a place like Jamaica where most of our tournaments are held in, just like a normal sized room, I was walking into like a massive event. It looked as big as our airport hangar, or even bigger.
If you were at one setup here, if somebody else was like 2 setups in front of you, you couldn't even see them. That's how packed it was. That's how many persons were there.
Just understanding where Evo is coming from, because
we were
Evo
lost
started in a college
vast desert,
to
completely
see
devoid of
the
basketball.
level of production that was taking place. It was rather amazing.
It appeared a beacon of hope.
Wall where we could write our names as memory. I realized that there was so much to do at the event, that there were a lot of booths there.
They had Artist Alley, they had merch.
Casual gaming setup booths.
There was a giant arcade box. If you wanted to actually play the arcade box, you had to take stairs up to get to the controls. So I had to be like using my entire hand on the stick like this and moving it around, and the buttons were huge. There was a boxing ring with 20 persons I hear.
And you basically have to throw a man out of the ring. I had Mortal Kombat at 2 o'clock. What I liked about it is that they had the stations numbered, so you knew exactly where to be. I was up against an opponent by the name of I Am Your Death.
My game plan was to kind of keep her out a bit and work for like a couple rounds, and guess he tried something different, and I kind of read what he was up to and just kind of took it,
I went ahead, I progressed through my pools, and I made it to winners finals.
So, what was that, your second match or what? Second match, so you need one more to get out of pools?
Yeah. It's big and scary.
versus Star.
Woo!
Not
Hey,
really.
but hey, no. In this game, in K11, anybody can be anybody if you are competent enough to play the game. And I played you competent, so do your shit. Play him as a player and character, not Scar. Fuck that. Just play, do you, and see how you fare. You'd be surprised.
Scar is one of the top 3 Mortal Kombat players of all time. He's a Sonya player from MKX.
Scar was the better player in the set, and I'm glad that I have the experience with him to play the matchup, and hopefully I can do a bit better in losers.
I lost to him, but at the same time, it don't really feel like a loss, because losing to a top player like that, you gain some experience and you see what you did wrong, and you just can make it better next time.
Yo, reach Vegas, ready to start my pools. I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm really, really excited for it. So.
first two matches, I was pretty nervous, and I got through those two games. Unfortunately, on my third game, I played a sponsored player from Mexico who was extremely high leveled, and that match was extremely hard because he used Akuma, and Akuma is a very rush down, beat down character, so he was very aggressive and kind of just suffocated me with his aggression. So I lost to the Mexican player, but by that time, I got my nerves under control by then. So by my fourth match, I played very free. I was a lot more aggressive in my fourth match.
Yeah, man.
So I just made it out of pools on loser's side. You don't know, kill them spliffy, MT for life. You know, but yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow, right? So just going to get ready and train up tonight.
Rat poison.
So made it out the pools relatively unscathed. Had a snake round 2. Yo, Snake is a real spooky character. When last stock last hit, but I cussed it out. Then I had to play a DK. I think I double 3 stocked him. So now I have to play 4 o'clock tomorrow, round 2 winners. I'm feeling confident, feeling happy. So it's just to spend the rest of the day spectating and cheering on everyone else.
In the first match, we did very nervous and rustic. I'm not really, taking with the comfort, but we get the win. So we're gonna see how far we can get.
Alright, so now for the sad story. I've been doing a lot of work on Samurai Showdown. Samurai Showdown was a new game. I was only able to play my Soul Calibur matches. I was DQ'd from Soul Calibur, so I was able to catch my last losers bracket matches. So pretty much the only game that was left for me to play was Street Fighter. I'm an Alex main. Alex is like the worst character in Street Fighter right now. Surprisingly, I did well.
First ever bracket we make it through. First match was easy, second match was easy, third match was easy, fourth match was a little hard, you see me? We make a parry and a grab and everybody think it is sick, but I really buck up. But glad, you see me? So we're through tomorrow, match is tomorrow at 6. Make it.
Jabugs, he entered Mortal Kombat 2, and he was in disbelief. All he was saying that from his first match onwards is like, why am I winning? Why am I winning? And him don't know where I'm going. So he made it to the winners finals, and he was up against a Cassie player. He lost his first match.
All right. Good night, everybody on Twitch. Welcome to the Jei Podcast, weekly podcast. Welcome to everybody, all 13 viewers. I'm seeing 13 right now, but it could update. But welcome to all 13 viewers who are catching this stream official, live now on official_JEI, and everybody else who will catch it pre-recorded version on YouTube. Yell up everybody. Of course, I'm gonna have to do some housekeeping. I'm gonna have to pick up the sponsors. Buzzers, that's Buzzers Premium Lounge in Portmore. Alive, of course, sorry. Alive Premium Lounge in Portmore. Buzzers Barcade as well on the same building. XPG Video Games. LOL Snack Stop. Half a Tree Transport Center. Jei Royal Computers. And last but not least, BRX. Now, for those who would like information on how to access information on the Jamaica Esports Initiative, we have a website and it's jamaicaesports.org. Of course, those who are on the Twitch already know the Twitch, but it's twitch.tv/official_JEI. And on our YouTube page is Jamaica Esports Initiative. Instagram, we can be found at Jamaica Esports Initiative, no spaces. Twitter is at Jamaica Esports. Now, seems like I'm the Lone Ranger tonight. But of course, with all the people viewing on Twitch, I'm never alone, right? So there are a few announcements that were made, and before the start of the podcast, I noticed a couple people were in the chat discussing this, and outside of the chat in WhatsApp groups and also in the Discord, persons have been asking questions about it. So I'm just going to go through the announcement that the chairman Gary Moore posted to Discord, and just to answer a few questions that anybody might have about it, because I know it might seem a little confusing, or persons probably didn't fully understand what it meant. So I'm going to try to go through that with anybody who wants to ask any questions about it. So I'll just read what the announcement is, and then persons who want to ask questions can ask. I'm actually looking at the Twitch chat, the stream chat right now. So if you want to start ask questions before, if you have the questions now you want to ask, you can ask about it. I know Alien Micro was asking a few questions. I'm here, guys. Fire Kid saying I'm here, guys. Yell up, Fire Kid. Yell up, Alien Micro. So I'm just gonna go through the announcement. Just read it, and if there are any questions, if you don't understand exactly what it means, you can always ask your questions, and I'll try best as possible to explain what it means if you don't understand. Alright, so this was posted yesterday not yesterday, this was posted on the 8th of October, and today's the 9th. Yes, it was yesterday. Thought it was the day before. Okay. Alright, so it says the JEI will be implementing a few strategic moves to strengthen the organization and continue to build a community. For the next year, we will be focusing on certain game titles in order to increase our competitiveness in international events. We'll also increase our participation in online events to build our reputation. Please see our core titles below, and core titles are listed as Ultimate Smash Brothers, Mortal Kombat, which is Mortal Kombat 11, Brawlhalla, League of Legends, CSGO, and Fortnite. Goes on to say we will be hosting more free online events in various titles to keep the community engaged. Our Twitch schedule will now be increased to 7 days a week, and we're looking to start that schedule as soon as possible. Pretty much we did a town hall meeting last week, and of course we did the podcast on Wednesday, and the only Twitch activity we usually have regularly is the podcast, which is every Wednesday. But we're going to set out a schedule which I'm going to read right now, and we're going to try and stick to it. This is going to be launched in the coming weeks. I would say the latest in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully I want to start it by next week, but we're going to list the schedule and what will be happening on those dates. So we wish to further engage and expose the various communities that make up the JEI. So we're going to tell you what the proposed streaming schedule is going to be. And of course, like everything else, this is subject to change based on the needs and wants of the community. Alright, so on Monday we're going to have what we dub the Girl Gamers Night. Tuesday is going to be Town Hall discussion. Wednesday, the usual JEI podcast. Thursday, we're going to have our featured content creator. Friday, League of Legends scrims. Saturday is going to be the fight night. And Sunday, we're going to have weekly tournament or recap, of course, of any one of the other scheduled events that we want to recap. We basically hope this is going to encourage all content creators and community members to participate in order to achieve the goals of unification and strength. Streamers and creators who wish to be featured, please contact any of the administrators to be able to be featured or included in these schedules. So, there are a lot of persons making comments and asking questions about it. And let me just go through a few of them. Alright, first, Alien Micro was saying, YG Mike is saying, drink some coffee packs out there. Actually, I'm a bit under the weather, so I might sound kind of fluid because I am fluid. But really, that doesn't prevent me from beating G. So please, Nick, if you're hearing me, hurry up and go home so we can beat up the G. Alright, cool. So Firebat said, I'm here, guys. Oh yeah, Alien Micro said, Street Fighter Man them got Evo, but the announcement in the Discord is focusing only on Smash and MK as fighting games. Alright, so Annie said, Brawlhalla ain't even a proper game to me. Well, a lot of people don't think Brawlhalla is a proper game. I think it's just a Smash clone. Alright, so pretty much the games that we listed are our core titles, but this by no means is an indication that those are the only games we'll be supporting. Now, the reason why those are our core titles are because most of the persons that are playing these games are already very organized in groups. And when I say groups, I mean groups of at least 10 persons or more. They have an established leader, and we are trying to establish with them dates where they can scream, where they can stream stuff. Now, this might be happening with other games that are not listed here. And by no means is this an indication that we are not supporting other games. These are just our main games. Now, these games, our list of games, are subject to change. So at any time, we can include additional games, we can take out games as we like, and the list goes on. So it's not as if this is set in stone, and games that are not listed here, it's not as if we're not going to be supporting them. Now, if there's a game that's not listed here and you believe that the community for that game is big enough to warrant inclusion here, then contact me, you can contact Gregory or any other admins, and we can include it. If you notice, if you're a part of the Discord, you notice that we have a lot of sections for various games. So we don't only have Smash Brothers, Mortal Kombat, Brawlhalla, League, CS:GO, Fortnite. We have different FPS games like Overwatch, Call of Duty, Minecraft, Paladins, PUBG, Apex, Halo. For fighting games, we have Tekken, Dragon Ball, Street Fighter, and also including Mortal Kombat and Smash. So it's not as if we are going to only support the games listed here. These are our main games, and they have the largest support right now, and they have the most organized group of persons at this point. If it is that you believe that there's a game that is missing or is also organized and you want it to be included, just link me and we can make that happen. It's pretty easy. There's other groups that I'm also a part of, like Street Fighter, Tekken, that wasn't named there. We also support those games. As you know, we went to EVO, and we also plan to go to EVO again in 2020. And EVO is a fighting game tournament, so there are games that we listed there that won't be at EVO, and there are also games that aren't listed there that will be at EVO that persons will look to participate in. So it is not that way. As I said, I'm going to reiterate, it's not that we are not supporting the games. It's just that those are our main games, and if there are other communities that you are aware of that we probably don't know, because we won't know every single community, we're just limited by the persons who we know and the persons who are in Discord. But there can be bigger communities out there that you know about. Just let us know about it, and then depending on how big the community is and the support is, then we can of course add it as part of the official games or one of the main games that we support. And as I said, it's pretty easy and I'm pretty accessible, so you guys can always send any message to me, and then we can make that Alright, YG Mike was saying Street Fighter has big international support, so it can compete, but if you want it included in local scene, it needs to grow more locally to hold weekly events for Street Fighter, all about our community guys. Yep, and pretty much a part of what the JEI is trying to do is grow the community. I mean, you can't have anything being or becoming successful if the community is not grown, if the community is not developed in the right way. And since the JEI has started, we've seen certain communities grow and develop very nicely. And by the main games list that we have, that's an indication of some of those communities that have grown very, very, very huge. Brawlhalla is a game that is not very popular amongst Jamaicans, but it has a very good community. When we had the Brawlhalla tournament, we had over 40 persons who were in the tournament and who participated in the tournament. So the scene is pretty big out there, and we want to keep developing the scene. Smash Brothers is also a game that I've seen grow over the years. Smash Brothers was not as big as Mortal Kombat, was not as big as Street Fighter at one point in time in terms of the support that it got in Jamaica. But over the years, we've seen it grow to become the main game or the game that has the most support, whether it is tournaments, whether it is workshops, pretty much anywhere, link ups. More persons are playing Smash now than any other game in Jamaica, and it shows. And pretty much that's why Smash is one of the games that made the list. I just heard somebody jump in. Oh, it's Matthew in the chat. So pretty much that's the idea behind that message that we sent out. So I just wanted to have everybody understand that we're not going to cut off any game. So all games are still supported by us. It's just that we have a list of main games now, and these are the games that are going to be our main games, which are subject to change based on how the community engagement is, on these games. Alright, so what I wanted to do is, usually we of course go through some current events or current topics in gaming and gaming news. Of course, the biggest one right now is PS5, of course. PS5 has announced that they'll be releasing in 2020. And I just wanted to read a few excerpts. While looking at the news about the PS5, I was kind of wondering what the Xbox would be coming out with, because everybody knows that the Xbox is pretty much one of the biggest competitors to the PS4. And the new Xbox is going to be called, well, they call it Project Scarlet, but it's not officially named yet, unlike the PS5. So the PS5 news also announced that the official name is going to be PS5. Pretty much the only thing that we're not too sure about right now, or me, I don't know if anybody else know that info. I don't know what the PS5 controller looks like, but apart from that, we have a lot of news and the specs and stuff like that. But I'm really, really concerned about the controller, because right now I think the DualShock 4 controller one of the best controllers we ever use. I mean, I know a lot of Xbox fanboys will probably say differently, but I actually play games on both systems, from the first Xbox, Xbox 360, and now Xbox One. I've used all their controllers, and out of all the controllers I've used, I find that the PS4 controller, comparatively, compared to Xbox controller, PS controller for me is the most comfortable when I'm playing. Well, Xbox controller does a very good job of playing for me first person shooters, but when it comes to fighting games, sports games, and other games that I like, I find that the PS4 controller is the better all-round controller, because when I'm playing a fighting game with the Xbox controller, really doesn't feel that comfortable to me. I mean, you guys can chime in terms of which controller you think are the best. Some persons love arcade sticks, some persons love the Xbox controller themselves, some persons love the PS4 controller. I love the DualShock 4, I don't know about it, but really and truly, I really hope that the next iteration of the DualShock controller is not very far from what this is now. Now, them always show some designs. They show some designs before the announcement was made, and trust me, the design them they kind of look scary to me. I don't know about it. But If you remember, the same thing that happened with the PS3 and the same thing happened with the PS4, where they had some weird looking designs for the controllers, weird looking designs for the consoles. But when they finally come out, they were pretty sleek and pretty nice. Well, and the DualShock controller, how it is now, wasn't the same shape, especially for PS3. PS3 was like a boomerang shape, and I was pretty scared because my normal couldn't use that. But what do you guys think? I mean, what kind of control you prefer to use? Firebat says, I know it sounds silly, but would the featured people have to be on the same live stream? I'm not sure what you mean. Is it that you're asking, are those persons going to be featured on the JEI stream? Or will they have their own stream? Or will they be featured on their own stream? Alright, so pretty much the plan is to have you guys on the JEI stream. So if it is that you're playing a game or you're going to be featured, you're going to be featured on the JEI live stream. Of course, we're also going to be pushing your content as well. So if we know you have a stream and we know you have content and you're the person who is featured, even though you're going to be featured on the JEI channel, we're going to obviously put in plugs that this is your stream. You can find the streamer here, you can find that streamer there. But initially, if we're going to be featuring you, of course you're going to be on the JEI stream, of course. Just like if you went to TVJ to do an interview, you would be interviewed and you'd be shown on TVJ. And if it is that you're on Instagram or you're on YouTube, in that interview, then they would say, okay, this is Firekid 105, for example. This is his YouTube. This is how you find him on YouTube. You can find all his YouTube content here. This is where you find him on Twitch. You can find all his Twitch content there. This is where you find him on Twitter and all the other social media avenues that you can find him. So it is not like they actually go on your channel or YouTube and then they do the filming there. They will film it at TVJ, and then you would get a chance to not only be shown on TVJ, but you get a chance to, of course, feature whichever streamer it is that you have. Oh, I said damn, because I don't stream much, that's the thing. No, well, if you don't stream, we can find ways to include you on the stream, and there are several ways to include you on the stream. Right now, if you're a part of Discord and you're playing League, for example, let's say you're playing League, which game do you play? If I kid, I really don't know which game you play. I know which game Alien Microbe and YG might play, but I don't know which game you play. But if you're playing League, for example, you don't have to be the one streaming. So I would play more Brawlhalla at the moment. Alright, cool. So you play Brawlhalla. How good are you at Brawlhalla, by the way? I know some people who want to get into Brawlhalla right now and learn a bit. But let's say you're playing Brawlhalla, right? I don't know if you are playing Brawlhalla on PC or PS4. But let's say you're playing on PC and I'm playing on PC. You don't stream, but I stream. It says lol, I'm average, but I'm plat. That's my rank on PC. Alright, so you play on PC. So let's say we're both playing on PC. How you would be able to be featured is that we could be in Discord, because you'd be in a chat, a Discord chat. We're in a chat room. Both of us are chatting, and I'll be streaming. Now, when I'm streaming, I'd definitely be streaming both myself and you playing the game, because both of us playing, and you would hear both of us talking. So even though you're not streaming, you're playing the game and I'm playing the game and I'm streaming on JEI's channel, you'd be seen, I'd be seen, you'd be heard, I'd be heard. So there are several ways that you can do it. PS4 is the same thing. You have PS4 chat. PS4 chat has just been upgraded to 16 persons. So before it was 8 people max it. Now it's 16. So all you do is create a PS4 chat. You have the persons in the PS4 chat chatting. You start a stream, whether you start the stream from the PS4 itself or you can stream from a PC. But what is going to happen is once you're streaming and you're both playing the same game and you're in the chat, you're going to see both persons playing the game and you're going to be hearing both persons in the chat, and it's only one person streaming. So it doesn't have to be both persons streaming at the same time to actually be able to be involved in that stream. And that is just some of the ways you can do it. Of course, you can have multiple persons streaming. So you can have one person streaming on JEI channel and the other person streaming on their own channel. So you have different ways to do it. Of course, we have persons here, admins here, who understand streaming a lot. So if it is that you have never streamed, you may be able to stream on a PC, you don't know how to set up a stream, all of that, we can actually get people to help you and advise you and tell you how that can work. And said, oh, I need my PC trash and my time limited, that's why. yeah, if your PC trash but you can play the game and we're going to be featuring your game, then just hook up somebody who know how to stream, who is going to stream, ask them for stream, and then we can get that person to stream on the JEI channel while you're in the Discord. Once you have a mic, if you have a camera is optional, but once you have a mic and you can play the game and you have an internet connection, a decent internet connection to run whichever game it is that you're playing, then you can be a part of the stream, and it's pretty easy. So if you have any questions about the stream or anything, we have persons here who can help where that's concerned. Hail Matthew, I see you jumped in the chat. Of course, you're playing a silent party. You know, I'm all alone here, very lonely. You know, he couldn't even help me out. Man, jump out of the chat now and left me. Matthew, I don't know. It seems like you're trying to say something, but there's nothing there. Jordy, part of the league community, right, Jordy? I can play the game smooth, just that I can't stream and play at the moment. Frames drop to almost 0. Tell me something. Is the streaming problem because of your PC, or is the streaming problem because of your internet? So if you're streaming, you have different things that can affect your stream quality or whether or not you can stream. The PC is one. Also, the internet is also one. Matthew Lee says, I subscribed 5 months in a row. Money. Thank you, Matthew. I love that subscription there. Thanks, Matthew. That's good. Firekid 105 says, my internet is good. How good is the internet? Who is your internet provider? Because if I flow your internet provider, your internet is trash. No matter what I tell you. Flow your internet provider, your internet is trash. Listen, people who are listening right now, if Flow is your internet service provider, let me not trash Flow on the JEI live stream. However, in order to stream, it is recommended that you have at least the very least 5 megabits per second upload. And if you're going to be streaming certain type of games and certain type of content at certain types of resolution, it is recommended that it's going to be higher than that. Now 5 megabit per second upload is the least you should have, the least that is recommended. So if it is that your resolution is going to go over 720 and above, which is HD resolution, it is going to need more than that. Also, what is going to compound it is the type of game you're playing, because there are certain types of games that require more bandwidth than others. Okay, Matthew, I hear you. YG Mike said, do this and run thing. I have yet seen FlowNet be good in the last few years. Fakit says, I have 50 megabits per second. From what Flow tell me, I'm downloading stuff on Steam at 7 megabits per second. So yeah, so there are a lot of things that affect your gameplay and affect the stream. And I can probably just give you like a beginner's guide to it. But pretty much your bandwidth, download and upload. Upload is the most important if you're going to be doing a stream. Download is also very important, but usually, especially with our ISPs, download is pretty okay. So between Flow, Digicel, and I know other ISPs, but most ISPs that persons use are Flow and Digicel. So between those two ISPs, the download speeds are usually very decent. So you can get good download speeds. The problem lies with the upload. So pretty much, as I was saying before, you need a minimum of 5 megabits per second. But with the games that are out now, those are in HD quality. So I don't know, unless you're playing old systems or you're playing an emulator or something, I don't know any game right now that is not in HD quality. Now you can stream in less than HD quality depending on your speed, but most of the games, if you want them to look pretty and you want your stream to look good, you want it streaming at HD. And what is happening is that in order to stream in HD, you need at least, I would say, 7 to 10 megabit per second upload to stream in HD. Now 5 is the minimum, and you can stream on 5 and you can try streaming HD on 5, but it is going to be full of a lot of issues, hitches and stuff like that. And that is one thing, that is a part of it. Now the internet is one thing. So if you have the internet covered and you're ready to stream, you can still try and stream and not be able to stream. You still get hitching, and you wonder, well, my internet is pretty good, so why is it still hitching? So a lot of computers nowadays are equipped with video cards, and some of them are equipped with stock video cards. Now, in order to stream properly and smoothly, good quality, and in HD, you need a video card that is able to push the stream quality that you need. And usually, stock cards, those are cards that you buy a computer online, regular computer that you use to do your word processing and surf the net. If you buy that computer, usually the video cards that come in those computers as stock aren't very good video cards. Those video cards really don't always assist you in streaming very well or streaming in HD. So a video card and also the specs on the computer might be an issue. At the very least, if you're going to be streaming, you need at least an i5 processor if you're going to be streaming in HD, right? And you would need a video card that is not a part of the board. So when you purchase a computer, they have video cards that are stock video cards that come as a part of your motherboard. Those video cards don't usually stream well. You would need to at least purchase a video card that is made for gaming and streaming. Yeah man, graphics card, video card, yes, Firekid, they're the same thing. Video card, graphics card. I'm from the old school, so I say a lot of video card, but yes, they're also called graphics cards. Yeah man, so graphics cards and video cards are the same thing for those who know. Firekid was kind of getting confused, but yeah. So purchasing a proper video card with a good amount, a decent amount of video memory will help you to be able to stream very well. Now, if it is that you're streaming on your PC while you're playing the same game on your PC, then your video card will need to be able to handle streaming and playing the game at the same time. When you go on the net now, there's a lot of information online that can assist you in choosing the right video card for your machine. Of course, your video card has to fit your machine. So your video card, depending on the slots on your motherboard and how big the video card is and how big your case and your computer is, that will help you to decide which card will be suitable for your machine. And all of that, luckily enough, in my day, we never have whole heap of YouTube, you know, somebody have a whole heap of trial and error, buy all a card and it can't fit in the slot properly and all of that stuff. But yeah, if you're going to do that, you can go on the net and research your type of motherboard, and if there's a card out there that can fit your motherboard that can actually allow you to stream and allow you to play a game. And trust me, I've been in this situation before, and when you switch to that type of video card, not only will your gameplay be smoother and not only will you be able to stream very well, but the resolution actually makes the game look a lot better. I've known a lot of persons who play League on a regular PC and a regular laptop without a video card, and it plays okay. And as soon as I get a video card, they tell me how much different League looks and how much better it looks. So getting a video card actually doesn't only increase your performance, but it also increases the viewing acuity, how good it looks on your machine. You understand? So all of them things change, and trust me, it's always for the better. So, and right now you have a lot of cheap video cards out there that can do this. You don't have to be breaking the bank on a 1080 or a 1070 to get them type of expensive video cards there to be able to run this. You can get really cheap video cards that can do the job. So the best bet I would say is just go on the net, do some research, and find a suitable card for your type of setup. Firebat was saying, when I stream without playing, it's smooth at AF. I don't want to say what that means. But with a game, let's not talk about that. Yeah, so when you stream without playing, it's smooth, but once you put in a game, and that's because of the type of video card you have. So once you're streaming, the video card can handle that. Once you're playing a game, the video card can handle that, depending on what the settings are. But once you try to do both at the same time, everything goes to hell. Sorry. And I can bet that your internet also has a little bit to do with that. So you should do some research on, of course, whichever area you're in also determines the type of internet you have, because ISPs, not all ISPs are available in all areas. So if it is that you're in a certain area, do your research on which ISP is in the area, what speed will be best for you, all of that jazz, and then I'm sure as soon as you do that, you have a clearer picture as to what you want in terms of system, what you want in terms of internet, all of that. Now, when I was mentioning earlier, Fire Kid said that Ethernet is the way. Yes, a lot of persons who I know personally who play online are playing online using Wi-Fi. Playing online using Wi-Fi is a no-no. Do not, and I repeat, do not play online and use Wi-Fi. No matter how much you think it'll play smooth, no matter how much you think Wi-Fi is good and you have great Wi-Fi reception and your Wi-Fi router is right beside you and you have flow and you have Digicel and this is my speed and when I check speed test this is the speed. Once you have Wi-Fi, you're not getting the full performance out of any ISP you use. A lot of persons do not know that, and I was very surprised when talking to a lot of people about it, and them say, yeah, we use Wi-Fi. Do not use Wi-Fi when you're playing online. Please and thanks. You know, people cuss about everything. Whenever I see somebody online, I'm say them I use Wi-Fi and I can prevent being able to play them, I will. Because Wi-Fi is hell. Those persons don't know what they're doing. Don't be one of those persons that don't know what they're doing. Always, when you're playing online, use an Ethernet cable that is connected to your router as best as possible, because some persons' homes may not be able to accommodate that. Might be your system might be you might have a really big house, your system really far from where your router is, but when you can help it, use an Ethernet cable. Alright, peeps. Firekid says RX 570, GTX 1050 are some suggestions. Yes, those are very good cards. GTX 1050 is an old card that is really cheap right now and would actually help you to be able to stream and play the game at the same time. Even though it's an old card, a dated card. So that is a card that you can use. RX 570 is also one. As I said before too, it also depends on the type of system you have. There are some graphics cards that are very big and you might have the slot on your motherboard to fit the card, but your case is not big enough for the card, vice versa. So you need to do a lot of research whenever you going to buy new hardware. You don't want to buy hardware, especially in Jamaica where we don't really sell very good graphics cards in Jamaica, so you might opt to purchase it on Amazon and bring it down, and you bring it down and you can't fit it in your case. You know, that would be a very sad situation for you. So make sure whenever you're doing these things you research properly and you know exactly what you need to buy and what you need to buy and how you need to buy it and when you need to buy it. YG Mike, what were you saying? I just saw it. Oh, nothing wrong Fire Kid. Yes, something is wrong with Wi-Fi. Ethernet is the thing. Yes, Ethernet is the thing. Once I use Ethernet, but I have no problem with it. But yeah, you need to. A lot of persons don't know Ethernet is what they should be using. They think that Wi-Fi is acceptable and it's not. Sorry, where my PC empty. Yeah, I went halfway through and I saw nothing good. If it is that you would like to, I know that Royal Computers actually sells some decent graphics cards. They're not brand name graphics cards, but they're actually decent graphics cards. So if you're looking for graphics cards that aren't GTX 1050 or RX 570 or above, that can handle streaming and playing a video game at the same time, then Royal can help you. I have a GTX 950 with 2 gig of RAM. Yeah, I have a GTX 950 with 2 gig of RAM. And to persons out there that are told that, they say, wow, okay, you use your machine to stream, but you can't play game and stream. I can game and stream. Actually, a lot of the tournaments that Jei have been streaming were from my PC, with the game being played and also being streamed at the same time. So GTX 950, well, the GTX 950 is inside the belly of a beast. So I have an i7 processor, I have 20 gigs of RAM, DDR4 that is. So that's why I was able to use a GTX 950 and still have good performance on my PC. So as I said, everything, you have to keep everything in mind. Also, my internet is pretty good. So everything plays a part in how well your stream comes out, how well your games play and the frame rate and all of that. Have something for the video. Micro is saying, I have a friend that plays Fortnite and he's really good and streams sometimes. What can he do with the JEI to promote his Twitch and possibly join the team? Well, the first thing you need to do is join the Discord. So if you're actually a part of this stream, you'll see a stream elements message come up that says be a part of the JEI movement, join our community, and it gives you a link to the Discord. You can copy this link to the Discord and you can send that to your friend, and your friend joins the Discord. Now once you join the Discord, while in the Discord you can ask for roles, and if you want to be a streamer you can ask for a streamer role, and what that allows you to do is it gives you certain perks. When you're streaming, when you start a stream, it's going to show everybody, or it's going to give an announcement pretty much in our streaming section that this person is streaming. And that's one of the things that it does. And what that does is everybody who is a part of the Discord, who is online and looking at that section at that point in time, can see that you're streaming. They see the name of your stream, they see the description, they see which game you're streaming, and they can join your stream from there. So you don't, it takes out you having to do all of the advertising for yourself. Hey, I'm doing a stream, and share your link. It automatically does that. A bot does that. We had some issues with the current bot that we're having, and we're looking to upgrade the bot. So until we do the full upgrade, then that we'll still have a few issues, because some of the issues were for some persons it wasn't notifying that they're on. However, it does for other persons. So you can still join the Discord, you can still become a part of the Discord, still ask for the streamer role, and when you're actually streaming, if it does not show the notification for you, you can just copy and paste the information, your stream link in there, and it will come up. So you have many ways to do it. Like it's saying, I need to upgrade my monitor though. It's VGA, sad. You don't have to upgrade your monitor, sir. My monitor is a VGA monitor. Every monitor should, well, this is what I believe, but every monitor should still come with VGA, because VGA connection is very good. The drawback with the VGA connection versus other connections is that VGA connection does not support sound. The monitors I have right now are AOC gaming monitors. They're 1 millisecond, 1 millisecond refresh rate, and I use VGA connections. Now VGA connections are pretty old, and as I said, the drawback with VGA is that there are a lot of drawbacks, but in terms of how it looks and the resolutions that it can support good resolutions. Where HDMI and DisplayPort and all these other technologies excel is that in terms of the resolution you're able to view, they can view higher resolutions. So when you're talking about 4K and 8K and all those higher resolutions, those are the cables that you're going to want to look for. But if you're running 1080p, you can use a VGA cable. Now, if you want sound coming from that cable, you're not going to get sound coming from a VGA cable. So if it is 1080p you have, and you're saying you're good with 1080p, then you can get a VGA. You have DisplayPort, you have VGA, you have HDMI, you have DVI ports, you have many different ports that can give you 1080p. So if it's 1080p, all of them can work. Is when you're looking to go 4K and up, that is when you might want to look into different types of technology to connect your monitor to your graphics card. But VGA is good for 1080p, I can tell you that straight. HDMI is also a legacy thing. You have DVI as well, which is legacy. DVI is the one with the I don't remember how many holes, but DVI has a lot of holes, more holes than what the VGA has, and it usually has either a minus or plus on the left hand side, and that is how you identify a DVI port. And a lot of DVI converters are also available. So if you have a DVI monitor, you have a converter where you plug it onto wherever the port is, whether it's on your monitor or on your video card, and then you can plug in a regular VGA port, you can plug in an HDMI cable into it, and it also shows just as if you had a VGA port or a HDMI port with those cables. You have different converters, and they're sold online and they're pretty cheap. So depending on what you want, because a lot of persons opt to use that type of option because they can't get to change the monitor immediately because monitors can be kind of expensive, especially if you want a good gaming monitor. If you want a regular monitor, you can get that dime a dozen. But you want a good gaming monitor. Everybody here, most of us here are gamers, so we want a really good gaming monitor. And good gaming monitors are cheap, so persons may want to be saving for the gaming monitor. And while they save, if you still want to be able to use your old monitor, then all of these options are available to you to use with a new graphics card if you get a new graphics card. I know somebody got a graphics card and the only thing left on the graphics card was DVI, HDMI, and DisplayPort. And he had 2 monitors that he bought 2 months before, and the only thing the monitors had were VGA. So that's why I tell people that when you're buying stuff, you need to be able to research on exactly what you're buying, what it come with, and what you're going to need. Because you don't want a case where you buy something and then when you buy something else 1 month later, you're going to have that thing that you bought before it becomes obsolete. So yeah, he says, so I can go to Royal for the converters. Yes, Royal has converters, but I don't know what converters they have in stock. So you might go to Royal and they have a converter today, and then next week I tell you, yeah man, them have a converter, I'm going to go there today, and you go next week and the converter done. Best case, I would say, give them a call. They have a website, so just Google Royal Computers, get their number, call them, and ask them about the converter that you want, and they can probably tell you if the converter is in stock instead of you going all the way down there. I don't know how far from Royal you live, but if you live pretty far, you don't want to waste a trip. Yes, it's rough for students, but guess what? The Jamaica Esports Initiative has been working closely with Royal to give persons who are a part of the JEI discounts. So if it is that you indeed go to Royal Computers to purchase anything at all, let them know that you're a part of the Jamaica Esports Initiative community and you would like your JEI discount, and they will give you a discount. Easy as that. Easy, don't it? Yeah, so that is one of the things that we worked on as the JEI to be able to give to the community. And that's just one of the many things that we're looking, one of the many benefits that we're looking to give you guys, and that's a free benefit. A lot of persons were a part of the town hall last week, and they were saying that JEI is not spending money on them. We're actually been spending a lot of money. What we're doing at UTech right now, all the workshops, and the plans that we have made and the agreements that we have made with Royal Computers and other sponsors do take money. So you can know if you're going to Royal Computers, anybody going to Royal Computers to purchase anything at all, you can ask for a JEI discount and you get a discount. Whatever it is that you're buying. So I know that a lot of persons really don't know that. So like you know that now, you can actually go there and get a discount. Especially you fire kids seeing that you're looking to go there. Yeah man, I'm a part of the JEI. Zimmy, give me discount. Yep, that's all you need to say. When you go there, I'm a part of the JEI, give me a discount. If it is that you're having any issues, which you shouldn't, but if you're having any issues, you can always message me or message the chairman, and then we can have that sorted out for you. But yeah, nobody should have any issues because we have an account there and you get a discount. Thank you, Sarita's big fan. You're now JEI's big fan, and thank you for the follow. Alright, so I've been chatting for a pretty long time. This podcast is supposed to be an hour, but I wanted to touch on news about the PS5. Just did want to go over some of the features and things on it. I was looking at some of the news about PlayStation 5, and I wanted to just see what they were saying about the release and the features that the PS5 has. But I got a display pic, and it just showed just sort of comparison between the Xbox Scarlett, what the Xbox is going to have, and what the PS5 is going to have. Let me just see if I can bring that up. So Xbox Scarlett and PlayStation 5. So they're both slated for a holiday 2020 release. Now, usually when I say holiday 2020 release, it's usually winter. So you're looking at either September to November for holiday release for PlayStation 5. Xbox Scarlet is rumored to be released around the same time, but we're not sure which day yet. Sorry about that. Please bear with me, guys. I'm down with the flu, so if I'm sounding pretty nasal and coughing a bit, that's why. Alright, so we'll start with the comparison. So Xbox Scarlet and PlayStation 5. Holiday 2020, as I was saying before. My prediction is going to be somewhere between September and November. I don't think they had announced the exact date or month yet, but they did just say holiday 2020. Alright, so they're going to boast an 8-core AMD Zen 2 CPU. Both of them going to boast that. Pretty much, when you're looking at the specs, they're going to be the same in terms of power and speed and everything. I really don't expect them to one up each other in terms of power. You might have a few differences, but at the core they're going to be very similar. Alright, so the GPU themselves. So that's a CPU. So the CPU is an AMD Zen 2. That's an 8-core CPU processor, and it's next gen stuff. This is not currently in PCs right now. It's a new generation of CPUs. However, by next year, I'm sure that you're going to see PCs with these types of CPUs, and by November or September, whenever the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet is supposed to be released, I'm sure you're going to be seeing even more powerful PCs. But at this point in time, these are the most powerful CPUs that will be on the market or slated to be on the market. The GPU, so the GPU is going to be for the Xbox Scarlet a custom AMD GPU. That is a GPU that supports ray tracing, and the GPU is going to be a custom AMD GPU for the PlayStation 5 that is going to as well support ray tracing and 3D audio. Now, if anybody know what ray tracing is, pretty much ray tracing is a technology that's not very new, but because of how much power is needed to run a game using ray tracing, it wasn't introduced before because previous consoles couldn't handle it. This is going to be something that it supports, so expect your games to be looking very realistic, especially when it comes to shadow effects and reflection effects, lighting effects and stuff like that. It's going to look super realistic. If you're on YouTube, of course you're on the net, because if you're listening to Twitch right now, you're on the net. You can look up persons who go through what ray tracing is and how ray tracing works. Where the PlayStation 5 is concerned, its GPU is also going to support 3D audio. Now, I've never heard 3D audio before like this. They're saying that this type of 3D audio is going to be very new, and it's going to be very groundbreaking. I'm really skeptical. I've been hearing about a lot of different audio technologies, and some of them are okay, but none of them are ever that groundbreaking to me for me to say, yo, this is the greatest thing, you know? But that's yet to be seen. For the video output now, so both are going to be supporting 4K and 8K. Now, right now, I don't even have a 4K screen. You know what I mean? The last TV I bought, which I thought was a great TV, supported 1080p, it supported HDR, and it supported 3D. Now, a few months down the road, you have 4K screens out, and then you're going to have systems next year supporting 8K, and 8K screens are already made. You have even screens that support higher resolution than 8K. They're probably just not in the consumer price bracket right now, but screens are there. So these consoles are going to natively support 4K and have 8K support. And games can run, it says, on the Xbox Scarlet up to 120 frames per second. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to even notice 120 frames per second. I mean, we can notice 60 versus 30, but 120, I don't know how much of that is going to look like. Way different from 60, but that's yet to be seen. That's sort of like 3D audio to me. Of course, that is both for PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet. So both of them will have 8K, 4K support, up to 120 frames per second. PlayStation 5 boasts 120 Hz refresh rate. Storage. Now, for the storage, they're going to have a brand new generation SSD, solid state drives that, in terms of speed and the bandwidth that they support, no other solid state drive currently supports that bandwidth. It's going to be at least 5 times faster than the current SSDs, which is very fast. They did a tech demo with Spider-Man when they showed Spider-Man on the PS4 running on a loading screen that took, I think, about 20 seconds or thereabout, which was like, I think, a second or less loading time on this new hard drive, and that's just the hard drive that they use. So that is how much faster the hard drive is, and it's going to change loading times as you know. So you know, if I sit down, like if anybody play Anthem, I bought Anthem. When I start Anthem, I can go get some coffee and come back. Anthem still not load up yet. A lot of that is going to change, so you won't have those long loading times. Street Fighter cough. Street Fighter. So backwards compatibility now that's a big thing. And PlayStation, Sony announced that the PlayStation 4 is going to be, all PlayStation 4 games are going to be compatible on the new PlayStation 5, and also PSVR is going to be compatible with the PlayStation 5, and that is big news. I'm glad because I don't wonder what I'm going to do with all of my games when time this come out. So I'm really happy to hear that they're going to have all this backwards compatibility, and anybody who has a PlayStation console knows that once you have the account on the PlayStation, I think it's the same thing with the Xbox. But once you have an account there, you can actually download the games off of your account back to your system, so you don't actually have to have them loaded on the system. And if that hard drive goes bad or anything like that, you can actually get a new hard drive, get a new system, log into the account, and you have pretty much a backup of all the games you've bought online or in the cloud, that is. So if it's a disc, it's a little bit different. They're both going to have disk drives, so persons don't have to worry about whether or not just a hard drive and you have to go download the games. If you want to actually purchase a game on a disc, physical media, you will be able to do that with both of them. Let me just check the chat to see what anybody is talking about. Sarita's big fan is asking me, can anyone give me a summary of what was discussed? Well, as soon as the podcast is finished, because we usually go about an hour and it has been an hour already. Or sorry, it's been about half an hour, maybe. Yeah, so we've been streaming for about an hour now. Earlier I spoke about a lot of updates, and what you can do is, as soon as the stream is done, once you go on JEI's Twitch, official_JEI, you can go to past broadcast. And once you go to past broadcast, you're going to see this broadcast. Once you click on it, it can start from the beginning, and you can just catch up on what I've been saying. Let me just go through. Okay, watch it on the internet. Come on. Apparently, the PS5 will have heavy controllers. Listen, I don't want to talk about the PS5 controllers. If it not look like the DualShock 5, maybe I have a problem. Alright? DualShock 5, sorry, if it not look like the DualShock 4. I call it DualShock 5 now because I'm sure that's what they're going to call it. But it needs to look and feel very similar to what the PS4 had, because that was a perfect control. Ray tracing is epic, but that won't save Trash's story. Yeah, Alien Microbe. So Alien Microbe is a Street Fighter fan, right? Street Fighter 5. I know him. I know that he plays Street Fighter 5. And him said, this is what I'm saying. Ray tracing is epic, but that won't save Trash's storylines. Cough, MK, cough. Now, if anybody knows Street Fighter, they would know that Street Fighter has the trashiest, worst story mode out of any fighting game you can ever call right there. So, Alien Micro, you should say cough, Street Fighter, cough. K-Hill238 says, I would notice 120. Now, let me tell you something. Alright, so there are a lot of persons who, when I used to play games at 60 frames per second, we used to say to them, yo, you don't notice the difference? And they would say, no, I don't notice the difference. I think the more you play it, the more you notice the difference. But 120, I don't know how much of a difference we'll see with 120. But as I said, we will see it coming like the same 3D audio business. Every time a new system come out, audio better, this better, that better. And when I listen to the audio, depending on the headset I'm using, that is what makes the audio experience better for me. But normally the audio doesn't sound much different. You know about it, but that's just me. But if you will notice it, fine. Maybe it can help me notice it. But I really don't think I'm going to notice 120 over 60. Seriously. He said, I doubt it will run a constant 120. Well, judging from the specs that they have right now, the consoles should run at 120 pretty consistently. Of course, we've seen where like the PS4 Pro and the new Xbox One, call it new Xbox One, whatever they want to call it. But when the new Xbox One came out, pound for pound, it was much better than the PS4 in terms of power. But yet still, there were games that were running on the PS4 that had smoother refresh rates or smoother frame rates than the Xbox One at the time. And then they ended up releasing patches to fix it. So there's a possibility that when the consoles just come out, it might not run smoothly at 120. But what you're going to find is as developers develop and get used to the consoles and get used to developing for the consoles, that's going to change. They're going to get better at developing the games and having the games run smoothly at 120, if you can notice it. But say now defend Street Fighter story. You know you can't defend Street Fighter story. 8D audio. No, I haven't heard about 8D audio. I really don't know what that is and how does that work? We only have 2 ears in a bossy. So how does that work? K Hill is saying just quickly run your mouse in a circle on the screen, you see more copies of it compared to the lower frame rates that show less. I mean, I know those tricks, and I notice it with the mouse, but I'm talking about the game itself. When you're in a game and you're highly engrossed in the game, you don't notice all the details. If the game is being played and you sit down and you watch it and you look for certain things, like you look for screen tearing and you look for resolution and you look for jagged edge, you can't find that when you look for it. But while you're playing the game, will you notice those things? You're not going to notice that. The only thing you notice while playing the games is if there's a change in frame rate. So if you're playing the game at 60 frames per second and it dropped to 55, you're going to notice the drop. And then when it go back to 60, you're going to notice that. But if there's a little part in the corner of the screen that don't look so good or look kind of shady, you might not notice that. You know what I mean? So it might be a placebo effect. I think that you love use the phrase like Maximilian. But it might be a placebo effect. But I don't know if I'm going to really be able to notice the change from 60 frames. But I've never actually seen something running at 120, so I am not the expert at this, but it's just something I'm guessing. Hopefully, when it actually comes around and I see it, I'll be able to recognize the difference. And may I get all now, so my item kind of slow. Maybe you young guys can notice it. I can't. Saying are just the quick movements. If it's too blurry, then you know that there's need for improvement. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's how they do tests, or that's how they tell you to do tests when you're testing for frame rate. Refresh rate. Okay, I'm gonna have to pack this up pretty soon. We've gone over the hour already, but my voice is getting worse and I'm forcing it. The K Hill is saying in game you'll notice it when you are trying to do fast movements. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright, so that's pretty much it for tonight. I really want to thank all the persons that came out. YG Mike, please stop hiding from me. I'm waiting to fight a G. I'm in Street Fighter now waiting on you. Right? I know you've been hiding anything, but it's okay. It's all about improvement. It's all about going to EVO next year and improving and giving a better performance. So let's grind from now. Don't hide from it, alright? So thanks Fire Kid, K-Hill238, Alien Microbe, YG Mike, Sarita's big fan. You said you wanted to get a summary of what was going on. So as soon as this is done, you won't see it now, but you'll see it when the stream is done. So when the stream is done, when the stream stops, you can go to past broadcast and you'll be able to see what we're talking about. Thanks for everybody who subscribed and everybody who followed. It's been really nice. And thanks for bearing with my really crusty voice tonight. Well, it's always crusty, but it's extra crusty tonight. But anyway, thanks guys. Of course, can't leave without bigging up the sponsors again, because the sponsors are what makes it happen. And just to reiterate what I was saying earlier, if anybody is going to Royal Computers, Royal Computers is offering discounts for JEI members. Just when you go there, let them know that you're part of the JEI and you would like to access your JEI discount. I know I didn't say how much a discount is. It's up to 5%. And even though it's 5%, any discount is a good discount. If you spend $5,000, your discount would have been $250. And trust me, I would have done with $250 right now. Okay, so big up to the sponsors. Buzzers in Portmore, Alive Premium Lounge, XPG Video Games, LOL Snack Stop, Jei Royal Computers, of course Royal Computers where you get all JI discounts, and last but not least VRX. For those persons who want to know our website, it's jamaicaesports.org, twitch.tv/official_JEI is the Twitch chat channel. All of you who are there now should know that. For those who want to check YouTube, it's Jamaica Esports Initiative on YouTube. Instagram, Jamaica Esports Initiative, that's with no spaces. And on Twitter, we're at Jamaica Esports. This is Andrew Pang, your host with the most. Thanks to everybody again in the chat. And I'm out. See you again next week. And you guys can just stay tuned to us giving updates in the Discord on what we'll be doing in terms of the streams and what we'll be streaming each day. The list is there, but of course it's subject to change, so we'll update you whenever there's a change and we'll let you know when we start doing that. So bless up everybody, peace out, later.
It's a first to two things, so the second match now, Japan last live. He was down like to like the last pixel of life, and you know, like Bugs just decides say, you know, I give up, just put on control, ready to shake the man hand to say good games. And I was there behind him like, brother, where you do take up the control, you know, they did.
That was a forward four. That was a forward.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Let's go, man. Don't drop it. Let's fucking go.
You know, Bugs came back and he actually took the match, and so I was hyped for him. He was still in disbelief, but I was hyped as hell and went to tell everybody else, and you know, and he made it out in winners for his first day, so that was a big thing. So congrats, Bugs.
Day 2 Evo, you know, just starting the day with some breakfast, ready for kick out face after this, you know. Don't know, you know. You should see me, I sit down in the room and do research on my opponent. Real. Yeah, that's how I know he's a Zeku player, and I was watching a match with him.
You remember playing?
But it's a whole match.
Wicked. And Japanese, you jury dog. They don't wipe it before Monday.
Before Bugs play the Malta game, he must say, yo, the man not mega play, yo, the man this, the man that, the man this, the man that. the man, build up the man in our head. Bugs did already lose the match before he even take up the control. Pretty much when you play anybody, no matter who them is, all they have to say is that, yo, I know the man good. Yeah, but once you play your best, like everybody in this wants to play the best, you literally can beat any city.
So being in Vegas made me appreciate Jamaica a lot.
You know, we think we know what heat is, but when you go Vegas, you'll learn what real heat is.
Vegas heat is different, like they have a sun for them, so, you know.
Yo, this are the wickedest things. Baddest back. Street Fighter 5. Feel the greatness, dog. Feel the greatness.